Hello everyone and welcome to the Digital Signage Guide. This is a slightly different video to what you're normally familiar with, as you can probably tell. First off, we're actually in a VR environment today. I'm using an Oculus Quest 2 and I'm sitting in my lobby room. Why are we here? Well, conceptually, we start to think about how digital signage might look in the future, and I wanted to raise this as a thought piece for you out there looking at things like changes in the way that we talk to each other, especially with the pandemic that's changed the way that we actually communicate with each other. What we're looking at is what digital signage itself might look like as things change, as we become more virtual in the way that we live. So what I've actually done here is I've created a demonstration with a Signage Live browser player running in VR exactly like it would do in a real life environment. The only difference is everything here is completely virtual. Now, you could have as many of these players for things like live events in a VR environment. You could have this in a situation where you want to display content in your virtual rooms, but you want to manage your multiple rooms with different content. So conceptually, we can pull all of the things built with Signage Live via the APIs, being able to create a completely different solution. Because Signage Live is completely headless, it means that you can actually pull everything that we've built and design something like this using that infrastructure to develop a way of delivering digital signage. Now, why would you want to do that? Why couldn't you just build that within the environment itself? Well, traditionally, content online, so if you think of things like ads or ad spaces or content on your websites that you're visiting, that's structured in a very specific way. It doesn't take into consideration that you might want time-sensitive content or content distributed based on location or scheduled content or even using things like RTEs, real-time events. Now, traditionally, or even not even so traditionally, but real-time events today means that a certain piece of content is displaying on your digital signage and it changes something in the real world. An image displays and a light shows. In a more virtual environment, it could be that an RTE actually says, well, an image is displaying on my player right now. I want to change what room I'm in. I want to change the lighting in the room that we're living in right now. I want to play a video on a different file. It's all conceptual at the moment, obviously, but the future of digital signage and the future of technology changing with things like Zoom and more of these interactive VR solutions becoming part of a work solution, it's really interesting to consider how digital signage could affect that. This is what I wanted to show you today. So again, this is just everything from Signage Live running in a virtual environment. I could have multiples of these running at the same time. I'm trying to keep my head as steady as possible because I know if I move around like I actually moved, it doesn't make for the best video. So here's the question for you. Do you think there's a valid potential for being able to build a virtual digital signage environment? Think of those event spaces. Think of those actual environments. I know ISE is happening at the moment. So what if we took that and actually did that in a virtual environment? Doesn't necessarily mean that we remove everything physical in the world. I don't think that's the way it's going to go. It's more about building options for those that actually can't travel or they can't make it, or you actually want to build upon the experience and do something on site. So here's the question. What do you think? Is this something that has legs? Do you see digital signage in the future of VR? Do you see VR as a useful tool for future business development? Leave your answers and let us know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear what you say.